able to be around on Sunday, and there's a couple of mini quests that we could do, or if we decide to do this main quest, we'll see here. But we currently find ourselves outside of a place called Cragmaw Castle. Kind of have a fog of war going on with the inside of the castle. We've basically searched about the bottom to bottom right of the to the bottom right of the castle, about up here on the right side. And when Cowgirl and the warlock Skullface ended up coming up here towards this door down to the south side of the Cragmaw Castle, and he experimented knocking on the door really loudly to see what would happen, and it brought out some guards, some goblins and some hobgoblins, and they left, being that they're on guard, and now left a goblin standing watch outside of the door and stairwell, constantly doing and checking his environment, making sure that nobody's. And this castle looks to be old, about over 600 years old, and it comes from an old dynasty that once ruled this land. The goblins have moved in and have claimed kind of the area and have proceeded to call it Cragmaw Castle, being as that the castle is more human and people kind of architecture than it is goblin. Whereas it was like a mini vacation. Black Ops ad. Okay. So now we can so Gothics, you currently find yourself standing in a circle, looking at your comrades. You have your mount behind you. We are about 2 days travel from Phandalin south. Let's see here, let me show you our map. I have grand reveal. Yeah. So here's our map. This is our continent. Oh, kitty. I'm working on the territories still, but this is the continent. We haven't really named the continent yet, have we, babe? We have the planet named Pandora, and we have our town name, but this is our continent. This spans about 4,000, or let's see here, 2,349 miles from one end to the other. Okay. Oh crap! You can't see this. Okay, good. Goody. The old runaway trick. Yes. So this is, we will zoom in, and we are currently about the middle. This is Dracovian territory, one of the smallest little territories. There is Dracovia, the base of the mountain. You zoom in all the way. These red dots represent the main roads, the King's Roads. The black and white line represent the distance traveled from our place, from Dracovia. So Shroud Glen is right here. I was going to add Riverwood is right next to it. About right here is Riverwood. Riverwood. You remember Riverwood and Shroud Glen, right? So about another 230 miles up towards the north, we find ourselves at Phandalin. We currently at Cragmaw Castle are about right here. Okay? Maybe a little lower south, but about right here. Okay, so this is where you find yourselves, and we are about right here. We have the mountain range to our left. We have and then the snooty town is over here to the top right. Right now it's called Brarius. The names are not set in stone, but I mean, you got the lakes and the different things. But yeah, this is our home. Now you can start singing, thinking, figuring out where you think you came from in this land. Like, I feel I came from about this part of the north. These territory names are just name and color. I'll probably actually get rid of them. I'm gonna make a lot more neutral territory. Like, there will be sects of territories, but not all territories claimed, so we'll be lowering that. No, just need to be careful. I don't see it's any different than what... Okay. So... there we go. So, the old runaway trick. So we currently find ourselves outside of the Cragmaw Castle. The best you can tell, it's about 5:30 at night right now. The best you can tell. That's not negative. It's just that it has to be said because it was never. She never cared, and she's, you know, I never had chip tooth like that. It's because I didn't.
Well, you seem to live on it. Your experience is the only.
Well, no, I'm just. But it's because, like, you know where that comes from? Is like hardcore hard candy that fucking just fucking chew the shit out of.
Tell her not to chew.
Yeah.
What for more can we?
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm just reminding that. Fatal. I don't see how that's any different than what you do. Pointing out things that wrong, need to improve on.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm trying to drag the map. Oh. Can't get this bigger because we're in the bottom right corner. I can't. Okay, there you go. So, Gothics, you find yourself looking at your comrades. Joke, my kingdom's origin is Draconia. The people are called Draconiacs. Draconiacs. Oh my god. Cognac. Oh god. Dad jokes. So you see me, you have Cowgirl, you have the rest of our allies, but as of right now, who is playing? It is you, me, and Cowgirl. I don't believe I saw Blue at all. But you kind of have a couple of options. So, you know, we can either continue trying to find our way, see if we can find some weak points in the castle. If the alarm goes off, though, we would suggest be careful. Definitely want to stay stealthy. We can head back. We can kind of come back to this area. We can try. There was a couple of people we had talked to, a barmaid that had told us about people noticing a strange, smell, like, of rotting coming from a place called Old Owl Well. It is an old tower back from the same, race, or the same civilization that built this castle. Is an old destroyed tower, and it's near a trail that's commonly used for prospectors and people, miners and stuff like that. And a lot of the prospectors have been coming into town reporting smells of rotting death. Of course, my dad. Don't want that sound. Is Pepsi Dragon the junk dragon? Yes. Is this for D&D? Yes, it is. I'm currently trying to find pull up something. I don't want that sound, but I can't turn it off. There it is. Oh god. What say you, my lord? Which way do you want to go? Well, Gothics, problem is I know I can't really make that decision because I know the answers to where we go and whichever way we go. So it kind of like my character will lead at times, but when it comes to decisions in the game, you guys are playing the game and you guys need to decide what you guys want to do. I cannot decide for us if we go left or we go right because I know what is left and I know what is right. So you kind of see there, it's kind of hard for me to play sometimes. Like I play and I play my character and I fight and stuff like that. But when it comes to decisions of what we do in the game, I let you guys decide the decisions in the game because I know what happens if we go through this door. Bum bum bum. Go for something. Medieval version Metallica. Turn the page. Yes. Then let's go up. Okay. Sounds good. All right, so let us. Bum ba bum bum bum. Where are you? All right, Gothics. Yeah. So first, I want you to go ahead and make a stealth roll. Go ahead and roll a 20 and add your stealth to it. I am currently not wearing my armor, but I think I'm going to try and attempt to I think we should still stay some more reconnaissance. So I'm not going to wear my armor, and I'm going to stay as I have an AC of 14. Go ahead and roll for stealth and let me see. So Gothic says, "Alright, my lord, we should head to the north. We should see what we can find inside this castle." So far I tell him, "Alright, Gothic, so to our right, near the door, there is a goblin standing watch. So far we have seen arrow slits. These are arrow slits that are right here above us to the north in this tower. This tower is partially destroyed to the right, but this rubble kind of heaps up into an angle that you can't see over it. You currently see to the right side tower. I also tell him that there's some more windows, but they're boarded up and we can't see into the slits. Monarch also reported to us that around let me show you here. So this tower right here can't see through the slits. There is the slits of the arrows are shut. To the north, Monarch reported scouting that. Come on, trying to select and move. Map. Trying to see stuff here. Okay, so tokens. He saw a hobgoblin walk past through he saw like a taller goblin-like creature walk past the window slit. I'll show you a glimpse of what he saw and what we saw earlier when they came out. This is what a hobgoblin looks like. Ugly son bitch. Monarch also did a history check on the hobgoblins and kind of a nature check, sorry, if you will. And he remembered learning and watching a hobgoblin, band of hobgoblins attack a nearby village one time when he was a lot younger, of a butterfly, and he had learned that they were very militaristic. They are a structured type of goblin. They are a little taller. They're about humanoid shape and size, about 5 to 6 feet tall, maxing at about 7. They are very militaristic. They're very formidable with weapons, and they're a little more disciplined than the average goblin. All right, so he saw one walking past this window slit right here and took it as a sign to back off. The Gothics rolled a 12 plus your stealth, Gothics. That is stealth rolls. I will roll again as well. Stealth is 6, so 18. Gothics, you got an 18 on your stealth roll. Means the creatures have to roll an 18 to see you. Very bad. Okay, and I'm very bad if they see us, right? So I will roll as well. Cowgirl, you can roll for stealth as well. Oh, nice. Okay, so 20 plus what's your stealth? 5. Oh, I have your paper. Oh, okay. I got a 15 plus my stealth, which is 6, and I'm not wearing my armor right now, so I don't get the negative. So I have a 21 max. So Gothics, about yelling into the thing. The reason that guard is standing outside there, this goblin guard right here next to the door, is because Skullface proceeded to use his thaumaturgy power, which is like a parlor tricks, creates noises, knocks on doors, and he used it to knock really hard on the door. It attracted out a couple of goblins and a hobgoblin. They proceeded to argue in goblinoid and told one of the goblins to stay out and watch guard. So this castle is definitely occupied. You can see lights coming sometimes from torches that are inside the tower right now. You kind of see movement of shadows. You definitely can see that there are people inside the tower, or there are occupants inside the tower. And you got a 20 plus your... What's your stealth? So 23. Cowgirl got 23. Cool. Alright. I'm last. So all that means is that you just that's your stealth roll. That's the strength of your stealth roll right now. It is daylight, so be careful going into the open areas. You get a lot of the moves right now. It kind of threw off Skullface as well, but it's kind of like, you know, Cowgirl's here. I'm here. I will move around and move freely. I will do mostly scouting and stuff. I'm not going to try and run into these buildings. But, so, yeah, you have your move right now. I am armorless. I don't have my armor. I'm moving around stealthily as much as I can. I kind of suggest to you, I guess, as Gothics, I move to coast to Gothics, and I say we haven't checked around the left side of the map yet. The upper left part looks like what looks like the main entrance. It looks like there, you know, we haven't really explored or seen what we can. So if you want to explore that side, we can move ever so slowly. This is I will just warn you, this is a very, very precise. If things go wrong, you know, we might need to run. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, let's check it out. Sounds good. Oh, and you're doing an ad. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, Gothics. So you move up to the left side. You have about 30 spaces, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about 30 feet. You get to about right here. I follow suit. I follow with you. Let's see what we see up here. So you're starting to see a little more around the corner. You see 2 broken doors on the top of this pedestal. You kind of see them broken at the main entrance. You don't really see too far in. You see a little bit like that, but nothing yet so far. So I will say you move again, just for time. Cowgirl, are you coming, or... Okay, so Cowgirl's coming as well. Yeah, right. Not yet. Definitely. Alright, so we'll move up again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. About 5 feet. You're good. Well, I just figured that you want to keep moving forward. If it's mundane, I'm like, do you want to keep moving forward? You know, unless it's risky, you're not, you know, I would agree. You would say yes, obviously. Some things that are no-brainers I will accept as doing. So, alright, so we're kind of find ourselves in front. We're near some bushes. Gothics, go ahead and roll for perception. Go ahead and roll a 20. You're not gonna fail so bad. Don't say that, Balls. You make me sad. Do you have classes tomorrow morning, man? I know you said the test is on Monday next week. halls to help us. Like, the halls come with. I should NPC play somebody. Oh. Okay, so Gothics, you're both, all three of us are kind of staring into the main hallway. It kind of opens up into the hallway. There is a slight ceiling, or there is no ceiling at his part, so the light really shines in. But you start to see another wall and a door facing to the left, and a slight, you see a roof. You see a roof held up about crossing this span right here. You see my mouse. It's at the highlighted area. Have one tomorrow and Monday. All right, Laws. Well, thanks so much for lurking, man. I wish you the luck and the best at what's it called, at school tomorrow, or school and stuff. I know you got this, man. Don't panic. Don't panic, my friend. All right, so Skullface is popping in. Good timing, Skullface. Very good timing. Perfect timing, actually. So here we go, man. So I'm just gonna have you catch up. So you resume consciousness, and you find your friends. You remember where we left off last night. So the guard is still there. Nothing has changed. You find yourself catching up to Cowgirl and Max and Gothics. We hear you rustling behind us, and you kind of come through the bushes. Go ahead and roll for stealth. Or wait, you're still rolling on your other one, right? It's 22. I believe it was at 22. Yeah, I believe you have a 22 I have written down for yesterday. So, do you have your armor on, or did you want to put your armor back on? Because then I'd have you stay back and put your armor on. But right now I have no armor on, and neither does, unless you are coming in. Unless you want to put your armor on before you catch up to us, which is fine. I can do that. Alright, Gothics, so go ahead and roll a 20 for perception, Gothics. Do your add your perception to it and roll a 20. I think everybody can go ahead and roll 20. That's here. I'm keeping it off. Sounds good. Me too. So we're still at our same rolls from yesterday. Or I have my roll is actually 21 because I have my armor still off. So pad points, not that. Go ahead and roll for perception. Roll 15. Gothics, you as well. Go ahead and roll a 20. Alright, Gothics, you see another door straight through. You see the two destroyed doors. You see the arrow slits. 16, very good. Alright, so Gothics and Skullface, you both notice first. You notice another bit of movement, and you notice the torches lit behind. You definitely saw something shorter than the hobgoblin. It looks to be goblin ears, if anything, but you see the silhouette, and you notice that two more, you noticed at least two more silhouettes come from from this arrow slit, and they are definitely creatures in these towers. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. I hate goblins. Right? Okay, guys. What's the plan? We currently still see through. I think we might be able to sneak around, but we could attempt to try and see if we can sneak in. Okay, you sneak up and put your back against the tower. Okay. Pull up my phone here. Okay, so Skullface, you have about this much movement, 5, 10, 15, 20. So Skullface walks up quietly, puts his back to this tower. You see from our direction towards the bush, you see Skullface kind of slinking, sliding as quietly as he can. He gets to about right here. Gothix, anything you want to do? Skullface, you start to see another hallway down. There is no roof, so lighting is definitely coming down through here, but then the light stops at this door and you find yourself looking towards another door that faces south. You can't see past this door, but you see a roof holding up. You see it shoddy construction. You see a bunch of like logs and stuff, and like big beams holding up the roof. It doesn't look too sturdy. Anything you want to do, Gothix? You want to follow suit? You follow. Okay, Gothix. So Gothix heads up. Gothix is going to go on the opposite tower wall. Bunch of hand signals trying to imitate the army. Skullface kind of gives the symbol and okay to Gothix. He kind of does this eye symbol, and Gothix, looking from the bush, kind of tilts his head, but you know, okay, and runs up the other side of the stairs and finds himself at the wall, pressing up against. You kind of hear the as he slowly scoots up, and they both start looking in. Gothix, you proceed to see a little more down your hallway now, getting a slightly better angle. You notice 2 doors as well, or you notice 1 door from your angle. You see it facing north, and you start to hear voices. You start to hear, you know, the echoes, as there are definitely sounds coming from this castle. This hallway, this hallway seems empty. It seems okay to move forward as best you can tell. I also I don't know if I want to head in without any armor. Okay, I'm gonna head in too. Okay, so I slide in. You too, baby, you're gonna smell it. I'm gonna move in behind. It's behind the warlock, and Cowgirl also, you know, pitter patter runs up the stairs, is quiet, and puts her back very easily to the wall. Alright, this hallway is looking empty so far. Gothix, north or south? So Gothix wants to go north. Okay, so both of you gonna go up to those doors? We're pretty close, so it's up to you. So Cowgirl, you want to go with Gothix, and I'll go with Skull? So what is the packing order? Right now you're next to Gothix. He wants to go. Okay, so Gothix kind of, or Cowgirl kind of whispers to the group. She's like, you know, definitely stay together. So Gothix and Cowgirl get, you know, nod to each other, and Gothix moves up very silently as fast as he can across to the other side of the wall. Me and Skullface, following the lead, also move up. Skullface, you start to see, you get closer to this wall, and I think you see around, let's see here. You still have a wall, and you do not see past the door, but you start to hear these noises, and there's definitely voices coming from the far right side of where you're at. You don't see into it, but you definitely hear the clanking of armor and the murmuring. I follow as well. I stick close. Okay, so I want you guys, so this is when you guys start, like, hint as DM, like, you guys gotta start, you know, doing or asking for perspective, trying to, like, listen in, maybe being like, I want to listen to the door. So go ahead and roll a perception throw, or go ahead and roll 20. I want you to make a perception check. Everybody. I rolled a 1. It's okay, it's a perception. Not gonna kill you. 7? Okay.
I'm
Alright.
proficient in perception. It's a 7.
Okay, Cowgirl got a 7. Everybody else, go ahead and roll. Why does it do this to me? Right, because it hates you. Definitely should be another door here. Nice, Gothix. Gothix rolls a crit. To him. Yeah, it is. Okay. So Skullface, you see in front of you, you see a door closest to me, and you also see a door to your south. You see 2 doors. One right here next to me, and one right next to, right in front of you. I'm going to draw this real quick so it shows. Oh, you see it. Oh, that's not. Do green so it's a little more effective. This is a door right here as well. Skullface rolled a 19. Okay, guys, so first, Gothix, you put your ear up to the door. You put your ear up closest to the door next to you, and you start to hear about 3 more voices coming from this room. They sound young. They sound like goblins to you. You definitely hear the three voices of 3 goblins in this room. Cowgirl proceeds to walk up to the door. She doesn't hear anything, but she does hear, or she does realize that this is a door. Me too, right? And so Skullface, you walking up to the southern door, you start to not only hear voices from behind the door, but you hear voices from the pile of rubble to your left. You find yourself kind of crammed closer to the door. There's pile of rubble standing to your right, as there's no roof above you, but you definitely hear voices coming from the other side of that pile of rubble, and to the door to your right, and to the door to your south. You hear about almost 1, 2, 3, 5 different sources of voices coming from both all around you directions. You definitely are running into a very populated area. You deduct that a lot of noise in one area might attract people from another. So if you're going to do anything, you'll definitely want to be very sneaky. All right, so knowing this, we kind of, I look to the warlock and I say maybe we should regroup and maybe eliminate one room at a time, or maybe you know, open the door and check our chances. Yeah, magic can is it locked or is it unlocked? I'm gonna have to check. I don't think it's locked. You can. Yeah, the door's not locked. Which door? There. Okay, that you're closest to. All right, Gothic. So Cowgirl would like to do Mage Hand and open the door closest to you guys. She's checking to see if it's unlocked. You hide around the corner. Okay, so we're kind of hugging you around up here to the north. Saying this to Warlock, he kind of I think that would be a good idea. Cowgirl kind of gives us the signal that she's going to try something and ready to use Thaumaturgy. All right, so everybody's gonna be quiet and Cowgirl's gonna try and open this door. Is everybody ready? Gothics, are you ready? She's gonna open the door to the left of you right here. She's going to attempt to see what she can and see inside. She's going to open it. She's attempting to open it as quietly as possible with her Mage Hand ability. It's a cantrip, right? Okay. The same as Skullface. It's almost the same, too. Alright, are you guys ready? I whisper to everyone, hide after she does that. Right. Sounds good. I nod my head and I agree. Alright, Gothics, are you ready? So Gothics gets as close as he can. He gets up to next to behind Cowgirl and waits for the signal. Cowgirl snaps her fingers and she starts to cast this. Gothics notice this ethereal hand kinds to form around, and she shrinks its size and makes it to about her size, and she moves her hand to the door and she kind of gives it a slight push. And then she backs up. Okay, so both of you guys back up. Okay, so Gothics, and she tells them to back up. So as she as she's about to do that, she does her power, and the door slides open, and she gets as quick of a glimpse as she can into the inside of the room. She proceeds to open the door. The door kind of slams open a little bit, and she hears two goblins kind of go, huh? And they see the door open. Two goblins armed with bow staffs and swords. Cowgirl does her best to back up and sneak away as the door kind of opens. One of the goblins proceeds to kind of see why the door opened, and starts to make his way out.
Can I cast illusion?
Minor illusion, yeah. What do you want to do?
A little bit further back. Like, so when he walks out the door, he'll see it, but it's a dire wolf.
A dire wolf?
Yes.
Does it have a noise? Does it do noise?
It doesn't make noise, but it's sitting there pacing back and forth.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe, like,
so before this fucking. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so the slow motion time. So all of a sudden, this goblin is about to pop out and see Max down the hall to his left. Cowgirl and Gothic smush against each other. Cowgirl, seeing this in a split second, does minor illusion. Right? Is that a level 1 spell? It's a cantrip, really? Oh yeah, man. Silent. Okay, so she does minor illusion, and she does a dire wolf, going back and forth pacing, and the goblin. So here we go. So the goblin comes out and sees a dire wolf pacing back and forth, just a couple of feet next to him, and his eyes, and he freaks out, and he grabs his sword, and seeing this opportunity, I back the fuck up and I try to get behind Cowgirl. Warlock, what are you doing? I get behind Gothix. The goblin freaks out and yells to his friend. You kind of hear this, you know, and that attracts this goblin and the other goblin. Some more. 5. All right, cool. Okay, the two goblins come out and they see, they do a check. Let's just do it here. I like to do the stealth checks there. Roll 20. 15. Okay, so he strikes towards the direwolf. They both seem distracted, and he strikes for the direwolf, and he strikes at it, and the direwolf kind of image just kind of pushes through it, and the goblin realizes that it is an illusion. And Cowgirl, now what do you guys want to do? We're kind of in a split-second moment right here. What do you guys want to do? It's not looking too good. You want to attack with your bow? Okay. Skullface, anybody else want to do anything? This is kind of one of those moments. They realize that it's an illusion, and they start to walk this way towards us. Could you sleep?
Could you sleep?
You want to do sleep?
It's not combat though.
It is. This is a moment. This is kind of okay. So Cowgirl's gonna do sleep. Okay, so go ahead, do your sleep. You have to do your sleep. I'm ready. My saber guns. Those guns are loud. Gothix pulls out his saber guns, and I put my hand on Gothix's hand, and I go, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Those things are loud, and they'll echo." As Max, I pull it out. You'll alert the whole castle with those guns. All right, Cowgirl sees this moment that they're about to see us, and she does her enchantment sleep. So go ahead, as a level 1 spell. So what is it, 2? 13, okay. 15.
20.
Really? So you got a 20? Okay, so this is looking bad. The music is starting to get tense. You start to feel the tension as the steps of the goblins start to come around the corner, and their vision about to be on us. As they start to see us, and their eyes perk up, and their mouths get about to yell out in warning to try and call the rest of the group. Cowgirl snaps her fingers, and let's see here. So 5, 10. We're a little close, so I gotta see this. This is going to be a little. You get to choose the area, but it's a 20-foot radius in that area. So I figure you put it to the farthest corner and have it stretch out, right? So you're not making us all sleep.
Yeah.
So Cowgirl makes the direction of her power. She tells it needs to be a circle, not a cube, but whatever. She makes a sleeping spell go off, and she uses a level 1 sleep spell. Already am I throwing daggers? Okay, I charge him with my... Hang on. Stab in the eye. So hold up. So before you do that, Warlock, she does the sleeping spell. The goblins start to turn around the corner, and they, as their eyes get wide and they're about to yell out, she snaps her fingers, and they, boom, both of them flop to the ground right now. They are both passed out. How much was that? 20? Anything underneath the health of 20 gets knocked out in that 20-person radius. Both these goblins are now passed the fuck out. Which, thank God, too, because they were probably about to whole fucking thing. So they are both passed out. You see both goblin bodies drop to the ground right now. Plump. They are both passed out. Okay, guys. So both bodies flop. You don't see it. So here's the thing. So if we damage them and we don't kill them in the damage, they will wake up. Gothics has advantage. We both have advantage on the attack rolls. Everybody would have advantage on the attack roll. All of us have to attack it all at once. Yeah, we can. I slit their throats. All of us can basically go do an attack. So all of us kind of walk up to them and get ready to like slit throats. And Gothics has a very good sneak attack. So Gothics, go ahead and roll your daggers or your katana, whichever you prefer, and add your sneak attack bonus. So roll with advantage because they're both passed out. So roll your attack with advantage. So roll 2 20s, and you and Warlock and goes up behind, kind of finds himself a little bit more behind the sleeping goblin and reaches up his head and grabs his dagger as well. So both you and Skullface roll with advantage on the target. You have your green flame blade if you want to use that. It's up to you. I think that's a spell, right? Or is it a cantrip? It might be a cantrip. It's a cantrip. So you haven't chose your target. You want to do your dagger is a 1d4 plus 5 with your 2 if you're doing the curse. So you're not going to do that much damage. So Cal, I'm going to also help you finish that attack, and I walk up behind you and I go to use the green flame blade on my dagger to stab it in the throat. All right, go ahead and do that. So go ahead and roll your attack twice with advantage, so to take the best roll. Then do your damage, and then Gothics you as well. Do roll 20 twice with advantage. So it's because they're prone, they're knocked out. You have the advantage on the attack. We have to do this in one swell strike and knock them down. You don't know how much health they have, but you want to knock down all their health so they don't wake up, because the instant they wake up on their turn and they're not killed, they will yell and scream. So go ahead and Gothics roll 20 twice for the attack to make sure you hit, because that's how it works. Make sure you roll 20 twice to see if you hit your target. Then roll your damage dice, and whatever your damage dice is, and roll that only once. Your D4 plus your 2d4. So what's a 1d4 plus 5, not 2. Okay. The Gothics rolled a 3. Gothics roll. Skullface did 17. So you got it 17. So Gothics, that's a hit. Then you both hit. Okay. I'm going to roll as well to see if I hit this to finish off, because I don't think Skullface's damage is gonna finish it off. We all get a surprise round. Cowgirl, do you want to do something too? Just in case. You didn't do twice. It's the advantage. It's advantage because they're passed out and they're prone. We all are trying to just kill them together in one foul swoop, and if we don't do enough damage to kill them, they'll wake up. Okay, Cowgirl, how are you doing? Are you gonna do your bow? Go ahead and roll damage for your bow as well. So we all walk up to the goblins. We kind of stand side by side, and we kind of giggle as this newfound power of cowgirls. They sleep silently, and we try to waste no time, for we were able to take off 2 of the guards. And so Skullface is rolling. I'm gonna roll to hit twice. I rolled an 18. I will roll again. I will roll my 1d6 then. 1d6. I think there's something about that when they're prone and knocked out, it's a critical, but I'll double check that some other time. It just gives you advantage. By 6 plus 4. Roll a 9. I'm so sorry, bro. Okay, so Skullface rolled twice and didn't get crap. Aw, it won't let me roll. Rolled a 7. So you rolled a 7, and what was the other one? You rolled... roll again. Roll again. You only got one roll. You only got one roll. So Gothics, you do your damage. So you do your 1d4 plus, and then go ahead and you're doing your sneak attack. So go ahead and roll a 1d6. So this is your sneak attack. So you roll your dagger, which is a 1d4 plus 5. Okay, it's a 1d4 because you're only using one dagger. 1d4 plus 5, and then you add another 1d6 for your stealth, for your sneak attack. So you did your 1d4, right? I saw you do it earlier. But you hit with the 17. Okay, you hit with the 17. There you go. Okay, you're good. 2 plus 5, so 5, 6, 7, and then so 7 plus another d6. So you've done 7 damage so far. Another d6. So Skullface, go ahead and do your damage as well, and I will do my damage. So as we all get ready, Gothix, reaches another Gothix, the goblin, to slice his throat. And simultaneously, you see the flame burst around Skullface's dagger as he stabs it into the neck of the other goblin and cuts the best he can. Cowgirl gets her bow ready also towards Gothix's thing. Go ahead and do your damage, babe, for your bow. Okay. 7, even with your damage. Hey, Glue. Do you want to come join? No. Okay. They're... Oh, wow, they're good. You're good. Their shit's only that much. Okay, I was just making sure. Okay, sounds good. So, with the slash of dice, the knock of her bow, everybody just kind of simultaneously just kind of turn around the corner. You see this blood splashing, and everybody just murders the shit out of these two passed out goblins. You hear the slicing and dicing of armor and flesh against each other as we just cut the shit out of these fools. These two fools are dead right now. I look to my comrades and I'm like, we need to hide these bodies. So what's the plan? Where are we gonna hide these fuckers? Huh? There. Do you see a? You noticed that we made a? Okay, go ahead and roll perception. Go ahead and roll perception. Or insight. Do insight. It's insight. Roll insight. 19. Okay, so after all this noise we made and the yelling of the goblin, you perceive that you noticed that you didn't hear anybody come from this second door. You think that there might not be anybody in that room. Okay, so Cowgirl, seeing this door, noticing that nobody came running out, proceeds to open the door. Okay, so you open the door, right? And it creaks open. You find that the roof still doesn't exist in this room. It's kind of, there's just walls, but you notice that is a storeroom, but there is another door to the left of the storeroom. Go ahead and roll another perception check. Perception on this one. What's that? You rolled a 1. It's a big empty room, and that's a door. A 7. Yeah, it's a big empty room, and that's a door. Proceeding to go in, I also kind of go in with Cowgirl, and I go ahead and I roll for perception as well to see what we can do. Well, thank you, Ron Hubbard, for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Welcome to the kingdom, man. I am your host, Maxamillios. I rolled a 2. It's a big empty room with a bunch of barrels.
Barrels?
A bunch of barrels. Yeah, there's a bunch of barrels in here. Yeah. You want to hide the goblin open barrels? Okay, go ahead, type it out. They start eating the bodies. Jesus. I'm gonna eat first. Okay, hurry up and eat. We could use you. It's Skullface, Cowgirl, Gothics, and me. We could use you. We're in the side of the castle. It's getting scary. This would be a really good time to be here. Thing is, I took my armor off, and so did Skullface. So we are both fighting with very little armor. I open a barrel to see if it's empty and dump a body in. Okay, so Cowgirl proceeds to walk over to a couple of these barrels that some are standing up on their sides, some are you know, rolled around. Go ahead and roll a strength check, babe. And she tries to grab she grabs one of the barrels and she tries to shimmy off the inside of the 20 strength. Oh. I walk in and roll. Skullface moves in. Jesus. I come over to baby and I try to give her a hand, and I put my hands on this, and I'm like, what are you trying to do? I'm like, oh, she wants to stuff a body in the thing. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, there's a 15 with the. I come over to babe and I put my hand on her hand, and I open the pickle jar for her, and we proceed to tell Gothics is standing watch. I whispered to Gothics, bring one of the bodies and let's stuff him into this barrel and let's try and get another one open. Skullface, go ahead and roll a 20 for strength. I will attempt to open another barrel as well. We'll die before I can do anything. Okay. So Gothics, hearing this, says, sure thing, my lord, and picks up the goblin body, and, you know, it's all bloody and shit, and kind of just... he actually drags the body. He grabs the feet of the body and drags it as a line of blood kind of just streaks on the floor. And we shove the goblin into this freaking barrel, and we shove the body in there, and we slam the body shut, or slam the barrel shut as we attempt to hide a body. It's crushed in there. Here we go. Good job. All right, so Warlock is looking through these boxes, and he sees the Jimmy loose, and he's like, my lord, I think I found another box. And we attempt to I grab my sword, and he helps me, and we both grab the sword, and we kind of jimmy, and we crack open this other box, and there's some space in there, and I'm like, all right, very good. And I come over here to the body, and I pick up the body as well, and I kind of try to put it under my, kind of hold it like a foot, you know, like a kid when you're holding a toddler and you're holding it by the waist. And go ahead, yeah. And we bring the body and we shove it into this box here as well. All right, Cowgirl, go ahead and roll 20. Everybody, go ahead and roll a d10. 17. Okay. Everybody go ahead and roll, I believe, a d10. You got 15 gold. So Cowgirl starts to look around, and she starts to look for some loot, and we start to all three of us following the lead, we kind of check the goblins, and we try to move around for loot and see what we can find. And you find some go ahead and Skullface, go ahead and roll a 10. Gothics roll a 10, and I will roll a 10 as well. I got a 9. Okay. What number did you get? What did you get? Yeah, you rolled 8. Okay. Oh no, that closed. Okay, Gothics rolled a 2. Gothics, you find, looking through some of these boxes and helping Cowgirl loot this goblin, you find in the pouch next to her, and you both find she finds 15 gold, and you find what's the number? 2. You find 15 gold as well, so you both find about 30 gold. Go ahead and write down 15 gold into your total. Monarch, welcome back, buddy. Jump in. We're all currently sneaking into Cragmaw Castle right now. Blue has just shown up. We've stuffed some bodies into some barrels. And Skullface, what did you find as well? Rolled a 8. Skullface, you found 15 gold as well. Go ahead and write down 15 gold, my friend. There also are some various armors and short bows, and they're both their scimitars. That's up to you guys what you guys want to do, but you find some light hide armors, goblin shaped, bloodied and cut up. You find the gold, and that is about all you find. Okay, so you guys start to hear some noises. You know, you hear that the room next to us isn't exactly silent, and nobody seems to be coming, but it definitely doesn't seem like a good idea to stay here. So you have a door to our right, and we have our door to our south. We are currently have shut the door. We are inside. There is 2 goblins in boxes right now. And we currently have some blood streaks and blood pool about right here. Some blood pool from the goblins we killed. Alright, what do you guys want to do now? So far so good, my friends. Found a little bit of gold. Let me see if anything else for you guys in here. There's some casks of salted meat and sacks of rotting grain. You see a heavy crossbow and an unsheathed longsword. Oh, go ahead and roll 20. Everybody go ahead and roll for another 20 perspective throw. 9?
Perception.
Yeah, perception. 6. 15. Okay. Anybody else? So the 2 highest ones will find this. Everybody else, go ahead and roll for 20 while we're searching around. Gothics, you too. Monarch, did you want to come join? I will roll as well, because I want stuff. 15, haha. Did everybody roll for loot? Is that all 4 of us? Okay, so, Gothics and Max. So Max, going after pushing the box, or pushing the goblin into the box and looting the gold, notices a I notice a flask of a glass and or metal, and I pull the flask out, and I undo the top, and I smell, and it's a flask of some old dwarven brandy, about 12 cups worth. The goblins seem to have overlooked this brandy. Gothics, you also proceed to find a longsword with the words Winterfall written on it, and it looks like you also see the name Sildar inscribed into the side of the sword. You have found Sildar Hallwinter's gear, the guy that we saved from the Cragmaw cave. You found his sword, and he would be really happy if you probably brought that back to him. So you choose to pick that up, or leave it, or put it away. It's only 2 glasses. Or take it. You know, you can give it to him, or take it and keep it for yourself. It's just some chainmail and a long sword. You found his armor and his sword. You got a 12? Oh, you did get a 12. Oh, okay. So, on top of that, Skullface, you're searching around. You find, next, like, after Max kind of grabs that brandy, and he's like, ooh, tasty. You see another little bit of shiny, and you look down, and you find another 5 gold pieces next to the body, kind of bloodied from the goblin body that's now kind of in that box. Pro Gamer Guns, what's up? So, who's coming along? We're currently finding ourselves inside the Cragmaw Castle. We are sneaking along. We are stuffing bodies inside boxes. Monarch, were you coming? I hold the sword for now. Very good. So, write that down. Write that down in your inventory or your backpack. A set of chainmail armor, and a long sword. With the owner is Sildar Hallwinter. I'm gonna go look in the corner where there is a crack to see how many goblins are in the room to our left. There is no crack. There is nothing to see through. You just have a door, and there's no way to see in. The boxes and everything block, and the rubble kind of rises up all the way around to near the wall. There is no way to see into this room from any other angle but to the door. Skullface kind of moves around and is starting to search around the boxes, trying to see if he can get a view. Kind of puts his head to the ground and looks under the crack of the door. Go ahead and roll a 20, Skullface, for perception. Add your perception. All right, Blue. So you have a choice now. Your armor now, do you want to, you can like bring it with you closely and you can take it off, or you can right, I'll have you do a stealth check now, but you'll have your disadvantage. You can either take it off now and try and sneak up, or you can try and roll with stealth right now and sneak up. It's your choice. You just have a -5 penalty to whatever you roll. If you take your armor off, that's fine. We'll lower you down to what you're supposed to be, which I believe is just your dex plus 10, so you'd go down to a 13. 11, 13. Okay, so skull face. You're kind of, you know, you put your head to the ground and you kind of are looking underneath the stairs, and you're trying to get a feel for the area, and you start to hear voices, and you see footsteps, and you see bigger footsteps. You definitely don't see goblin type size footsteps. You definitely see armored footwear and leather boots, and you kind of just hear laughing and groaning and kind of, you know, sniffling. Not a lot of noise. Definitely quieter, but you definitely can tell there's at least 3 bodies inside this room. More not goblin sized either. They seem to be bigger sized. Okay, go ahead and roll stealth. Go ahead and roll a stealth check. -5 from whatever you roll. If you roll really low, I would, you know, careful walking forward and not being seen. We currently blue. I will help you out since you're kind of catching up. We find ourselves outside of the Cragmaw Castle. We have arrow slits watching over this area. It doesn't seem like they're really paying attention too much, but we have a guard on guard, standing watch over here near the stairs. We are currently down to the south behind this thicket of bushes, and you see yourself next to Monarch and Silver and Pro Gamer Guns. I yell out in hopes that the rest of the group can hear me. Don't yell out here. So Pro Gamer Guns gets ready to yell out towards the group, towards this castle, and got Blue really quickly grabs her mouth and kind of covers her mouth and is like, shh. This castle is completely filled with people, and we've already scared them one time. The Skullface had mentioned to us that he knocked on the door, and it just caused a bunch of guards to come out and try to search the area a little bit, and then they left a guard on duty. This castle is definitely filled with people, and you want to be as stealthy as possible. This is this castle is a broken down castle, about 600 years old. It is definitely human construction. Further investigation has shown us that the castle has some roof in some parts and no roof in others. It's definitely been taken over by a bunch of goblins and hobgoblins, and by somebody, they have told us, a bugbear named King Grawl. And we are currently looking. We were brought here by our bugbear, prisoner, and who we later set free. Brought us, without any problems to the castle. A 20, yes. Go ahead and roll a 20, and negative. Add your stealth and minus your stealth to, or minus your stealth. Add your stealth bonus, whatever it is. So your stealth is 3 plus 3. So you roll a 20, add your stealth, then -5 from all that number because you're wearing heavy plate armor. I currently took my armor off. I'm running around with a 13 armor class right now. This is the door you checked to your. This is to your left. This is the door to your left, and this is where you heard the. You saw the footprints. Oh, you're right. Okay, sounds good. All right, so you come up to the door. Go ahead and roll a 20 for a perception check. We're hunting a weapon. Blue Knight rolled a 6 plus your 6. Okay, so I recommend also taking off your armor. It's definitely, like, I took off my armor. I went down to a 14 armor class. I believe you would go down to a 13. It's not to say that we can't, like, go get our stuff, but if you want my honest opinion, I would say come up to here. I would, since you rolled really low right now, you want to be careful going near this tower. you can take off your armor, bring it with you, and then put it down somewhere outside. Or you can, I believe you can actually bring your armor with you in your backpack. It's just going to take you a turn to put your armor on. It will take all of us a turn to put our armor on. Like, I have my armor with me, but I took my armor off way over here. And yeah, except for the people who don't have armor. But we can put our armor on, but it's going to take a turn for us to put our armor on. So we're going to be susceptible to a hit. I did it before. It was cool. Yeah, it's true. Shut up. Because we're trying to be sneaky. Okay. So Skullface, so what, it's up to you, Blue, what you want to do. So Skullface, you put your ear, and you put your ear to the door, and you kind of put your ear to the crack, and you hear like what sounds like low hush goblin sounding chants coming from the other side of this door. You hear about 3 voices, and you hear you know, this, you just kind of hear this constant echoing throughout the room of kind of whispering chants in the goblin language. All right, guys, what do you want to do? Currently, we are good. You know, there are 3 bodies in here. Like, we can, I believe there's 3. Yeah, we can see what the hell we can do. You can try and make people sleep again when you go in there. And I don't know, babe. This is not even a waste. This is kind of needed. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. No. Okay. Oh my God, you hear 4. You hear 4 voices in this room. One you did not. You hear 4 fucking voices. Cowgirl offers to roll another spell for sleep. To use one of her spell slots. So Cowgirl here also, you know, listening to what the Warlock told her. She, you know, also kind of puts her head down, and she kind of looks underneath the cracks as the light emanating from the room, and she kind of hears coughing and just this, you know, kind of slight clanking of armor. Nothing too sporadic. Ah, sneaky. That's not my forte, my lord. I know. If I do that, then take off my armor. Okay, I'm a great role model for the kiddos. I get to the group and say we gotta stop the now block up the other doors so we can take out the chant. Okay. So you guys hear this? How do you react? You can still try. Yeah, you can definitely still try. We eliminated, you just need to get through this part. This little side part, but you can take your armor off, so, and then go ahead and roll for stealth again and add your stealth to it, and let's see what you get, okay? And we'll go from there. So go ahead, Blue. Blue is going to take off his armor, and he's going, you know, it takes him a minute, and he kind of takes it off, puts it in his backpack, and Blue does not have 11. Blue has 8. 18. Are you coming as well? I would like to join. Okay, Pro Gamer Guns, you coming as well? Alright, so Pro Gamer Guns steps up next to Blue and kind of, you know, helps him take off his armor as he's kind of like, you know, looking for a belt buckle, and she kind of grabs it and undoes it for him and helps him get out of his armor. It takes about a minute for him to get out, maybe a little less because Blue's... go ahead and roll a stealth dexterity throw. Blue, roll a 20 and let's see how fast you get out of your armor. Maybe we'll cut it down a little on time. shiver with the cold. Don't worry, you're not naked. We're not naked. We have armor. We have leather and clothes underneath. This was a question Monarch asked too. Monarch, are you coming as well? Okay, sweet. So Monarch is coming as well. Great. This is very good. We got a good full party now. This is looking a little better. We have a little more wiggle room now when it comes to if it gets loud and goes crazy. Okay, so go ahead, Monarch. I still have your stealth from yesterday. From yesterday was a 22, I believe. Go ahead and roll for stealth, Pro Gamer Guns. Go ahead and roll a 20 for stealth and add your stealth. Blue is going down to a 13 armor class as well. His armor is on him. You do have clothes under your armor. Like you don't wear nakedness under your armor. Boom, I take my armor fast as fuck. There you go. Yep, Blue takes his armor off fast as fuck. They start to head together. Go ahead and roll your 20s for your stealth, Pro Gamer Guns. And Blue, go ahead and roll 20 for stealth again. Pro Gamer Guns rolled an 11 plus your stealth, Pro Gamer Guns. What's your stealth? Your stealth is plus 6. Very good. So 17 for you. 17. Okay, and Monarch, you're good. Blue, go ahead and do it. I know, my lord, I was trying to be funny. You're silly. You're funny. Okay, so Blue as well. Go ahead and roll again, Blue. Cross your fingers. Go ahead and roll with advantage, since you're kind of in the bushes, and it has now become at least 6 o'clock. It is getting a little darker out there, but you're in the bushes, and the goblins are not really paying attention right now, from what we can tell. Or you rolled a 14. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, you got. I take my armor off. Alright, okay. 10. Very good. Okay, so 10 plus your 13. Alright, Blue is our big boy. Okay, Blue, luckily for you, that is just enough. Okay, so the three of you start to talk, and like, okay, we shouldn't wait here any longer. We need to go help everybody else, and we've kind of have a good view. So you guys tell your mounts to to chill. You tell Percy to chill. Silver also chills back with the animals as well, and you proceed to start walking. You start to, as you guys are crawling through the bush, Pro Gamer Guns, Blue, Monarch, you guys are crawling through the bush, and you kind of staying as close to the edge, and you guys are starting to see as the tower moves slower, as the bushes move faster, as you kind of are walking at a decent speed. You see the arrow slits, and you see the movement and a little bit of shadows and silhouettes coming from the arrow slits, but nothing notices you guys, as nothing has really looked out through the arrow slits. Goblins make shitty watchers. So the rest of you guys start to catch up, and you guys about at this moment find yourselves walking up the stairs. You guys run over. You guys are at the bushes, and you guys are looking. You're not really sure about what's happened. You don't know everything. You still see another arrow slits, and you see the light, but you don't see any movement from the torches creating. The other bodies are inside the room. You don't see lights or silhouettes or shadows in the room. You definitely see that the room is holding still through the arrow slits. This northern room of the tower, or southern room of the tower. Going as fast as you can, Blue kind of sneaks up and puts his back to the wall, kind of doing that sneaky slide thing that people like to do. And Pro Gamer Guns also follows suit. Monarch, fluttering in, still under his disguise of a smaller butterfly, using the hat of disguise, kind of finds himself flying onto the slit of the arrow slit, flying into the window of it, and notices that the room is empty. Noticing the room is empty, he kind of whispers down to his comrades, and he goes, the room is empty above here. It looks like looks like somebody had already, that nobody's manning this room yet. So you guys kind of take that as a sign that, okay, all right, that's not too bad. We can, you know, watching this arrow slit to the south, you still keep an eye on it. Okay. Oh, Will starts whispering, calm down, it'll be fine. Then you focus. Skullface starts talking to his character, his demonic warlock character. You guys kind of, the group up north hears him kind of talking to her as well. You guys start, you know, sliding in. Blue, you kind of hug the wall. You see a hallway to the south and 2 doors closed. You see another straight in front of you, about right at this door. You see a bunch of beams holding up a roof above you. It looks like a little shoddy of construction, but you see the beams holding up what looks like a makeshift roof. I'm going to draw the roof so it's a little more definitive for you guys. About right here. So you guys can see it. Okay, Blue, for Gamer Guns, you guys turn to the, as you guys turn and look, and you see the door kind of cracked open. You see Max's armor, or Max's shoulder, kind of with his back turned to you, and you see, as you kind of move quicker to come up and catch up to us, you kind of splash on some blood on the floor, and you both kind of like, Monarch kind of fluttering past, kind of doesn't step into the blood, but Pro Gamer Guns, you start to see hoofed-shaped blood prints in the floor behind you, and Blue as well. As you guys come into the room, you see the rest of the group kind of looting about, and you know, and you kind of, hey, everybody kind of like, hi, you know, what's up, you know, woo. All right, everybody's here. Okay, cool. All right, so guys, everyone's here. We hear voices in this room that's closed off to the left. We also hear voices to our right in the door on the other side. Skullface has proceeded to tell everybody over here that there is more voices on the other side of this door, and to be careful. Did anyone investigate? I think I would like to investigate the entrance for anything of value. No, there is nothing of value. You go ahead and roll per. We've already gone into here, so everyone blocks the door before I start shooting through this one. Everyone block the door before I start shooting through this one. Phoenix, stop. What are you gonna shoot through? I'm like Crunk when his sneaking around on Emperor's New Groove. Yeah. Alright, so the rest of the group celebrates as all of us kind of are rejoined. Monarch finds himself on top of a couple of boxes and looks to the box down. Let's zoom in a little bit. You notice that one of the boxes has been, a little bit of blood is on the side of it, as we have stuffed 2 goblin bodies into various barrels and boxes to hide the evidence of our kill. We are currently finding ourselves in the room. So what do you guys want to do? We have voices to our left, voices to our right. We have empty hallway to our south. We have looks like more, there's a door right here underneath this roof. There is doors down here to the south. So far we are good. Nothing has attracted these other guys out of that room so far, but I think the more people that are crowded around as we try to find sneaky positions and try to find Cowgirl kind of hiding behind the barrels, Pro Gamer Guns near the barrels of near Warlock, Skull, Max, and Gothix. Gothix watching the door, Max and Blue watching the other side, south door, as we all are taking strategic positions in the room and decide our next move. Now these are things we have to decide as a group. I stare at the door with the chanting with a pissed off look. So you see Skullface kind of staring at the door, getting very angrily at the chanting sounds he said he heard. The sounds are not that hearable, only when you're really putting your ear up to the door. You definitely notice those sounds. So those were kind of our options. So what would you guys like to do? I need to stop whatever that is. So Skullface says out loud he'd like to stop whatever that is. The group kind of, as Max, I kind of come over to Skullface and I go, hang on, Skullface, let's decide as a group what we're gonna do before we make any rash actions and start to alarm this whole castle. I would like to go to the door by the roof. Sounds good. All right, Pro Gamer Guns. So I'm gonna throw out some tips. Is everybody should constantly be searching for traps. Perception rolls. So I'm gonna give you this one, and you go ahead and roll for perception check as you go down here, Pro Gamer Guns, to the door. Are you coming with her down here to this door? All right, Pro Gamer Guns and Cowgirl both come down, walking past the blood pools. They come over to these doors and go ahead and roll perception. Both of you, so you did and she will. $15 for Cowgirl. Pro Gamer Guns, you as well. Glad to finally see you, as Gothics and Blue kind of walk up to each other and give each other a hand. But you guys can do whatever. It's your turns right now. It's kind of open. You know, I'll try and, you know, if somebody's making a lot of moves, then I'll move to somebody else. But you guys kind of have it open right now. We're not in combat. We're sneaking around. It's stealth. We're trying to be sneaky and quiet. We have the hallway. Pro Gamer Guns and Cowgirl are heading towards the door to the south. Huh. Who said that? Oh, I would like to roll for perception. Go ahead, Blue. So Blue also coming with the Queen and Pro Gamer Guns to help and aid. Also will go with them and is moving as silently as possible. One hand on the door and wait for the decision. Okay. All right. So go ahead, you three. What did you roll, Pro Gamer Guns? Everyone's rolled at 8. Okay, Pro Gamer Guns. So as Pro Gamer Guns is heading towards the roof, Cowgirl kind of grabs and goes, "Hang on, guys. I think I noticed something." And she sees a thin wire attached to another linchpin, which is near the boards. And she sees this shining wire, and it's connected to the roof atop of us. So if you were to step on this wire, the entire roof would come down and make a bunch of noise. And Cowgirl and Pro Gamer Guns kind of seeing this, Pro Gamer Guns hands Cowgirl a dagger, and Cowgirl proceeds to cut the line of cord cable and tink, and undoes the trap. Phew. That was your one I gave you. But there's more, so if you guys do that again, it's gonna cost, you know, there you go. So I gave you the hint. You gotta be rolling for those perception rolls. Every time you move, roll for perception as well. Keep looking for traps. Keep voicing it to me. You're looking for traps. Yeah, I open the door and I roll for perception. I don't care how many times you say it, you know, like I will like always be voicing it that you're looking for traps. So that's your one. Okay, so Blue rolled an 8 as well. 14, very good. Blue also, you know, just barely seeing the wire, you know, follows, and he notices the cut, and you hear the tink cut of the wire, and they proceed to cut the trap. All right, so you see a door in front of you guys. You guys are free to walk up to it, do whatever you guys want. What? Yeah, you can open the door. Alright, anything else? Anybody else want to do anything? You guys are free to move around. Monarch, speak up. You know, anything you guys want to do, you guys can feel free. I look for traps in the door. Very good. Okay, go ahead and roll perception. Based on that perception roll you rolled earlier, actually never mind. So that perception you rolled earlier when you were listening at the door, that counted as a perception roll on the door as well. Being that there is nothing on the door, so you were good. I cast magic hand to open the door before walking in and looking around. Very good. So Cowgirl, you know, they kind of walk underneath the roof. You kind of see yourselves looking at the roof and kind of the little bit of dust that falls a little bit, a little pebble falls down. It's kind of still just sturdy enough to hold, but you both find yourselves sliding by the walls. You believe you notice a door to your south, Pro Gamer Guns, right next to it. You're standing next to a door as well, and then a door to our straight. So you want to go through this door as well, right? So Cowgirl opens the door, right? And you, Blue and Pro Gamer Guns, go ahead and Cowgirl roll for perception after the door opens. 17, very good. I'm thinking open the door in which we can hear the goblin while we attempt to barricade the door on the opposition. Very good. So how do you guys want to barricade the door? Someone ahead of me, please. Use a perception check. That does give me an okay to proceed. Very good. Yes, it does. It absolutely does, Pro Gamer Guns. If somebody checked that area in front of you, that counts as a check for you as well, that, you know, you're not going to run into a trap just because you didn't see it. If she rolled low, like rolled a 10 or lower, you want to be careful moving forward, because I'm not going to tell you see it or you don't. I'm just going to be like, looks like an empty hallway to you. You know, if you don't hit that number that I'm looking for, say for example 15, which is very common for traps, I will tell you that you don't notice anything, but you will probably still run into something. So keep an eye on the roll number. Like when someone's rolling for a perception check, if they roll like a 10 or a 9, yeah, you most likely didn't see the trap. You know what I mean? I roll for perception. So Blue and Cowgirl and Pro Gamer Guns kind of move forward, and alright, gotta do something. Kenny. Okay, so 13 plus need to see what it's there. Plus what? What is stealth? Dex. Okay. So, you guys, both the three of you, you guys find yourselves, Pro Gamer Guns, Blue, Cowgirl. I see we barricade the door with the crate. Very good. I like that idea. Gothics, Blue, Warlock, any agreements? Because these are the three that are having that conversation right now. I think we should barricade the door. I think if we could barricade it quietly, but I think we could pack up a couple of boxes and at least give them a run for their money. So I think that sounds like a good idea. I looked to Gothics and Blue, and Gothics and Warlock and our Skullface and Monarch. I'm like, we could probably do that. We could pack up a bunch of boxes and just put them in front of the door. If it wouldn't stop them, it would slow them down, which I think is a good idea if we do it silently. As that is going down, Blue, who rolled the highest? Rolled the highest. So 13. Cowgirl, what did you get? Pro Gamer 11 plus. What was your perception, babe? It was like 17. Okay, and Pro Gamer Guns, what did you get? Pro Gamer Guns, what did you get for your perception roll? Thank you. Yikes. Rolled an 8. Okay. So we're gonna go with yeah, it's okay. So no big deal. So Blue, Cowgirl, Blue, you both notice as soon as you guys walk in, you start to hear this kind of, and you notice kind of a movement in the top right corner of the map. You don't see what it is, but you definitely see something on the roof, and it is squirming, and it is like it's moving. You don't know what it is, but you definitely see something in the shadows. You walk into this, you kind of don't really see a lot. You walk into this room and you're staying on the edge of the door as the light from the outside is shining in. The roof of this building is built. There is it's like a thin, narrow hallway. It looks like a citadel kind of roof. You got the sleeping buttresses or the roof above it. Go ahead and roll a 20 religion check. Go ahead and roll a d20 and add your religion to it. Intelligence. You notice you notice 4 deitic symbols around the hallway. As the hallway is very unlit, this citadel looks like an old church. Broken down chairs, broken benches, you know, trash all about, broken stone all around you. But it's a very dark room. But you definitely notice some movement up in the top right corner. I'm going to peek in the room very quietly. I say we barricade the door with crates. Okay. I'll pass you a die on that one. Okay. Very good. Very good. So Skullface, go ahead and take an inspiration die. It's a D6. 1d6 inspiration for Warlock. Alright. As that's going down, Skullface and Max and Monarch and Gothics kind of start grabbing a couple of boxes. I grab the box with the crate with the goblin in it, and we move it over, and we start piling up crates. I can do that. We start to put up crates around the boxes to there we go. Boom. We start putting crates and barrels as we start to pile up stuff and move things around. We start to add, we do it very quietly. Everybody go ahead and roll a dexterity. Roll a stealth roll again to see how quietly we do this. Gothics, Monarch, and Warlock, all roll stealth rolls. Very good idea. This is me in a row. Yeah. I rolled a 3. I'll pass you down that one. Pro gamer guns rolled. I meant for the 3 people. Sorry, Pro gamer guns. I meant for these 3 that are in this room. You're okay. Right now, currently, you 3 Pro gamer guns, you, Cowgirl, and Blue see this. You don't know what this creature is, but you definitely, Blue noticed it, and Pro gamer guns, and everybody kind of sees this creature, but they're too afraid. They don't want to walk into the room right now. But you guys see movement in the top right corner of the citadel, in the shadows.
Sleep in that top corner.
Okay, I think you could do that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so Cowgirl's seeing this creature up in the air, or seeing this thing. She has about a 90-foot range, and she's gonna do another sleep spell, so that's 3, right? That's your second one? So you, oh yeah, because we didn't do the sleeping spell. Okay, so you have one more, you just used another spell, okay. Go ahead. What'd you get?
So far?
So 2 plus 9, 15, okay. Okay, 17. 17? No, it didn't. Oh, I can't believe 17. God damn it. Okay, so Cowgirl she snaps her fingers and she looks to the, to the corner, and she snaps a sleep spell, and you kind of see this, glimmering effect, but nothing happens, and the creature doesn't react. I don't believe it notices that it will be. I can check into that later, but as for right now, I will judge that it doesn't notice the spell that tries to take over. It kind of shakes it off as it was about to take a nap. Blue. Okay, so Mana rolled a 1. Gothix is gonna be right back. Okay. Gothix, I need you to roll. Okay, I will roll. Gothix rolls a 14. I roll a 12. So plus my 6, so an 18, 19. Okay, so the majority skull face. My phone keeps fucking up, and I'm getting pissed. Okay, you can't. I need at least one more roll. I need Skullface's roll. So if Skullface's roll isn't working, I'll roll for Skullface just to get this going. Skullface rolled a 4, so 2 and 2 did not roll good. Okay, so you start to, as we're about to put the barrel down, 2 of us roll good, as we try to put the barrels and stuff. It kind of makes a little bit of noise, and you start to hear this on the other side, as there kind of seems to be like a knocking on the door, and it seems like they're starting to, you start to hear a and they haven't pushed the door open yet, but they definitely start hearing words. Hey, somebody blocked us in. And right now we're at that moment where they are starting to bang. It doesn't seem to be echoing too loud because we're kind of jamming it shut, but I look to my comrades and I'm like, great, what do we do now? We have kind of hit a tension moment. We were doing good with the barrels, but we kind of landed them a little loud, putting barrels down and stuff. 2 of us failed out of the 4. I need a majority to win the stealth rolls for group stealth rolls. The warlock, seeing this go down as they're starting to bang, starts to head through the door. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. About 30 is right here. You get to about right here. Oh, that was cool. I didn't know I could do that. Alright. Anything you are the Blue, Cowgirl, Gothix, Monarch, any ideas? We are fecked. Right now, the door that we were trying to block with barrels and stuff, did it too loudly, and the hobgoblins on the other side are trying to break through right now. I stabbed through my sword through the door to enemy. Okay, you know what? I'll allow it, but you're gonna have to roll with disadvantage because you don't really know where the other side is. I'll let you shove your sword through, but definitely, okay, as you hear the bang, go ahead and roll a 20 with disadvantage, Gothics. And do you have that? Yeah. You have minor illusion. You can do something.
To help
Yeah.
him stay stealth?
So it's not to stay more stealth, it's that you would do something like make it look like the room is empty or some shit. I don't know. They are busting through the door because it got blocked. Yeah, I know. And right now they're trying to bust through the door. Gothix is going to attempt to kind of shove his sword through. He has disadvantage, but it could be possible. So go ahead and roll 2 20s with disadvantage. Take your you have to take your worst roll out of the 2 20s, and then that'll be a hit. And say you get it, I'll give you a little extra damage sneak attack that they don't see it coming. So I'll give you your sneak attack. Coming in hot. Well, hang on. While you're running into this door with chanting, give it a second because Max, I thought you were going through that door. Okay, so we'll give it a second. We are currently fighting. We're about to get run up on, and you're about to run into another room. So you want to run into this room right now? As the banging on the door is happening, you're not going to help your comrades figure out what to do with this door that's being banged down upon right now by the rest of the 4 hobgoblins that are inside it. I'm just saying, you do what you want to do, you do what you want, but I'm just saying it's gonna you're gonna, you know, I want you to know what you're about to do. Did I get the sub notification? No. God damn it. Why does it not do it for you? Lols just did it today. I don't understand why it doesn't do it for you. Well, thank you for the freaking... God damn it. Well, thank you for the fucking sub. Jesus Christ. Pro Gamer Guns coming in with another sub, everybody. Yay. Let's just replay the one play. Let's replay the one. Yay. Oh, man. Well, thank you. Freaking... I don't know how to thank you enough. Like, you know, appreciate it. I hope I don't let you guys down. I know I'm grumpy sometimes, but... I try to do my best. Can I shrink the crates? You can shrink the crates. They are about medium size. Aw, 4 months. Jesus Christ. I bow to Pro Gamer Guns. I thank you so much as I nod my head, and I thank you. You're too kind. You've been definitely a lot supporting me. I know sometimes we've had a little back and forth, but you've been a really good viewer and supporting and stuff like that, and I appreciate it for you being here. All right. We are fecked. We need to figure out what the hell we're gonna do. Skullface, what are you doing right now as the door is being banged upon and time is starting to run out? I'm going to add a little twist if I have it still. No, I don't. Damn it! I will add that. Naz, there it is. Oh, it's a good one, people. We're being grumpy, right? Looks at Power Girl and Pro Gamer Guns and whispers, should I put my armor on and walk out there and see what thing is? That's a very good question. Cowgirl, Pro Gamer Guns, what do you think? Can I shrink the crates? Yes, you can, Monarch. You can shrink the crates if you like to. What would you like to shrink and which ones? I vote the prepare to attack what comes through the door. I can do that. Do you guys want to head back? Do you Skullface? Like, you guys are kind of like deciding you want to back up a little bit, not head into this room. Pro Gamer, or so Cowgirl kind of is like, I'm gonna head back to see what's going on. She kind of hears the banging, and she starts to head this way as the banging starting to get a little louder, as they are trying to bust through the door. And me and Max and Gothix, Max, I need both of us to roll strength checks to hold the door shut right now. And Gothix, did you roll your 2 20s? I stabbed my sword through. Gothix, I need you to roll 2 20s to stab your sword through the door. Okay, so roll 2 20s with the disadvantage, because you don't see your target. That's why I'm giving you disadvantage, because you don't see your target. You're kind of trying to guess. Now, if you did something to try and maybe get a better view, or I don't know, something, then I would allow you to have normal attack. But being is that you're attacking something through a shut door and trying to time it right, you have disadvantage on the roll. So roll 20 twice, and the worst roll, use that as your attack. If that is lower than their armor class, which it can be, it cannot be, you never know, you might be lucky, then you will get the hit in. Okay, I think I'll sneak both crates and get the team in a battle stance. Okay, so before you shrink it, let's get Gothix's attack in first, okay? Before you shrink. And then I need to also test to see if we can hold the door shut, and then you can shrink, and we'll do the order, okay? Cool. Armor up, that's the roll for that. You don't need to armor up. You can go ahead and roll a 20 for dexterity to, like, I'll allow it to see how fast you roll, or how fast you get on, like if you get your armor on in this turn or the next. So go ahead and roll a 20. Blue starts to come over to here, and he kind of goes into this kind of doorway and starts to put his armor on. Pro Gamer Gun starts to make her way back as well, as they hear the clanking of the door, and Cowgirl asks, and Pro Gamer Gun asks, what happened? And they see Max and Gothix kind of holding the door shut. So Gothix, go ahead and roll your 20s for the attack. Gothix, are you there? Confused look as Cowgirl is looking back, and Pro Gamer Guns kind of hears this whisper, and it's like, we should follow her. And as we're following, kind of Blue kind of getting that sense that things are not going right, and the banging of the noise coming from the door, he also heads in. He also gets this idea that he heads in and he shuts the door behind him, so we can shut off all sound coming around and echoing throughout the castle. We currently find ourselves all huddled around. Max and Gothix are holding the door shut as the Gothix. I'm gonna roll for Gothix. Okay, so Gothix is gonna roll with disadvantage. I had to wait. We gotta get. This is one of those tense moments. So Gothix rolls. He stabs his sword through the door. He misses. The guy yells. The guy's right, and it starts to make them more pissed. I need Max is gonna roll for strength to keep the door shut. 19. Gothix is gonna roll strength to keep the door shut. Gothix rolls a 6. They start busting the door. One of the left side, the door starts to kind of creak as they are banging the door. We're running out of time here, guys. So you want to shrink the boxes that are blocking the door, Monarch, or what is your plan? Describe it to me. What crates are you shrinking? The crates that are blocking the door, or what crates are you shrinking? What are you rolling for, Skullface? Before we enter into combat, I wish to investigate for anything of value. There is nothing of value. I'm just gonna give you a hint, Pro Gamer Guns. It's not like Skyrim where you search everything and find stuff. You gotta search certain things. You don't go into a room. I'm just gonna help you out. You don't really go into a room and just investigate the entire. Well, it's more that we already did investigate, but I'm trying to help you out that you don't you don't investigate a plant. I don't want you to not feel that you don't investigate, because you definitely want to investigate things, but it's kind of like there's a I'll just help you out. Yeah, we've already investigated this room. There is no loot in this room anymore. There is some, you do find some salted meats, and you find some old tattered rotten wheat and stuff like this. You notice that with your investigation in your eyes, your general sense, that you've noticed that this storeroom hasn't been used in a long time. That we found a little bit of gold while we were in here. We did kind of already empty out this value, so you're just out of time, because you do investigate things. I don't want you to think you don't investigate things, but there are certain things that just aren't going to give you loot. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how to describe, you know. Okay, I rolled to put my armor on quick. Oh, okay, very good, very good. So Skullface puts on his armor quick, Blue puts his armor on quick. My armor's still off. I'm holding the door. Healers at the ready. Okay, we can't be stuck searching when we're about to be attacked. Right, exactly. So, another busting through the door. Monarch, what are you doing? The crates that are blocking the door. Okay, so as this goes, everybody's in the ready. Everybody's ready. Everybody's in a stance. Max and Skullface, or Max and Gothix back up. And Max is going to roll a 20 to see if he can throw on some armor. Within a decent amount of round time. 6 plus my dex is 4. No, I don't. So I don't get my armor on in time. I'm kind of struggling in the surprise round. Monarch proceeds to look at the boxes, and you see this enchantment kind of go around, and Monarch kind of flutters his butterfly wings as he kind of looks to the crates, and he walks over to he flutters over to the crates, lands on the two of them in between the edge, and touches them both, and all the crates shrink together, and the door shrinks, the crates shrink, boom. And as that happens, you hear a final timing as the boom happens. The boom again, you see as soon as the crates become small, the two hobgoblins that were busting the doors bust open the door. You hear a loud crash as the tiny little boxes kind of fly to the side.
Shoot the first one.
And it is a surprise round on the hobgoblins. So go ahead, everybody, shoot their first one. So Cowgirl, go ahead and roll. Everybody, this is a surprise round, so there is no initiative. There will be initiative after this. So you roll. Everybody rolls for an attack on a surprise round. 4. 4 damage. What's with your bow? Okay, so as these two hobgoblins pop out, you kind of, let's zoom in a little bit here. So things have gotten hairy. Okay, guys, so here we go. So as the goblins bust open the door, the little bits of crates get pushed back and they fly. Gothix, you kind of dodge to the side as one of the little boxes flies past. The warlock, as he's putting on his final armor and a little bit of tying the straps, it freaking backs up. So the crate flies past your face and lands in the door next to you. The two hobgoblins come pushing out. You can kind of see into the room now a little bit behind them as the other two goblins are ready to rush through as well. Go ahead. What was your damage? You said 4 damage. Okay, so nice one, Skullface. So Skullface rolled a 20. Go ahead and do your damage. What are you rolling 20 for? Are you ready to shoot my blast? Hurts. So go ahead, roll your blast, roll your damage. No, his your attack would be 20 plus your are you doing your Eldritch Blast? So it's 27, so you rolled a 10. He got a 9, so 9 plus 5. It's not so 7. So 9 plus 5, that's 14. Where are you getting the number 23 from? Okay. So there's 4 of them. Oops. Okay. Okay, so the way crits work is you roll a 9, so it's 9, and then I prefer to double the first roll, and then you add your thing. So 9 is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yep, you got 23. Yep. Surprise round? Yeah, you're not rolling initiative for surprise round. No, we're not rolling initiative for surprise round. Okay, so Skullface does 23. Cowgirl does how much? 4. All right, everybody else, roll your 20s for your attack. As they come busting through the door, you see Cowgirl unlock her her arrow as she shoots one of the hobgoblins in the arm as he comes out. And Skullface, also seeing the other hobgoblin, gets ready with his Eldritch Blast. The other hobgoblin comes out and it sees Gothix, and it looks at Max, and the one to the left at the north sees sees Max, and he starts running towards Monarch and Max, and Warlock yells out, "Get down, my lord!" And he does his Eldritch Blast right over Max's head and gets the hobgoblin straight in front of him. The hobgoblin kind of just without even warning just kind of gets seared and dissipates completely, taking 11 fucking damage, or taking 23 damage as he disintegrates into nothingness. First one is dead and turned into ash. Gothix, you can as well. Blue coming in. Blue rolled a 3 plus your what, Blue? Oh, Blue. 3 plus the poleaxe is 5. Okay, so Blue also coming in, and he's like, "Oh no, you don't!" And he comes in, he strikes towards the hobgoblin. He comes up with a high swing, and the hobgoblin kind of steps, little backward steps, and you hear the axe kind of hit the stone as the pole arm kind of comes down and slices towards the barely missing the hobgoblin. Okay, Skullface. Pro Gamer Guns as well. Alright, Pro Gamer Guns. So, thank you for the biddy. I appreciate it. Alright, so Monarch rolled a 7. Monarch does not hit. Pro Gamer Guns, you hit as well. What are you doing? I go in for attack 2. $13 plus my 6, so 6, 17, 18, 19. Okay. 5. I missed my second hit. So seeing the other hobgoblin, Max moves in towards Gothix, kind of slides past, moves in low to the ground, and I try to slide up towards the hobgoblin. I kind of just pierce forward into its chest. 6 plus 4, so that's 10. Okay. 4, 7, and then minus 10. Very good. Okay, with the goblin, I come to the side of the goblin, I pierce the goblin into the belly, and I kind of twist my thing, and you kind of hear the as he kind of yelled out in pain, taking 10 damage. He kind of bellows over. He's not completely damaged, but he is definitely he's fucking hurt. He billows over, and he kind of just spits blood onto Gothix's shoes. All right, now everybody go ahead and roll 20 for initiative. Surprise round is over after Pro Gamer Guns does this attack. So I do a joint lock on the one to the far right, disarming his sword. I roll for strength. Okay, so disarming is different, but it is definitely your strength. So go ahead and roll a 20. What did you roll? You rolled a 15. So 15 plus your 14 is 18. So his strength versus your strength. It doesn't hurt him, but it's 20. He rolls a 14. Very good. All right. So Pro Gamer Guns comes up next to Blue in the same motion, kind of slides next to him, and she kind of puts her arm and does the lock position and kind of and disarms the hobgoblin. She takes his sword and slides it and slides it to the ground next to Gothix. This hobgoblin currently has no weapon. Everybody, go ahead and roll 20 for initiative. Add your initiative bonus. Monarch rolled a fucking 20. Jesus Christ. Wow. Holy crap, Monarch. Way to roll 20 on initiative. Yep, you have his sword. Okay, so the sword flies to the ground, kind of, and you proceed to pick up the sword as it falls to the ground, and this hobgoblin has no weapon. He doesn't take damage, he just has no weapon. Skullface rolled a 2. Babe, what did you get? It is getting late, probably have to call it. But I still need you to roll for initiative. Fine then, never mind. Nope. So Blue, go ahead and roll. What's the problem? Okay, and what is the problem that I'm doing? We'll just end it. We'll end it after this one. Oh, because it is 11:15. So we'll call it after this. Probably only. So 14. I'm going to roll 8 plus my initiative, which is 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Add your initiative. Blue, 4 plus 3. 7. Okay, Blue is 7. So far it's looking like Monarch. Who else? Who did better than me? Skull did 2. Pyro did 3. That's plus your initiative? Okay. Oh, you're not. Your initiative, Skullface, initiative 5. 2. Alright, Skullface is 5. Okay. So Blue is 7, 5, 20. Max is 12. Pro Gamer Guns is 14. Okay, so it looks like Monarch, Pro Gamer Guns. Enemy is going to roll a 16 plus their initiative is 1, so 17. 17. Okay, so it's gonna go Pro or Monarch, enemy, Pro, Max, Gothix. What's Gothix? Go ahead and roll 20 Gothix for initiative and add your initiative bonus. No, I hit 5 with my initiative. Yeah, you did 5. Yeah. And then enemy, Pro, Max. I believe will be Blue, then Skull, and then wherever Gothix is after that. Okay. All right, Monarch, you're up first, bud. Go ahead. Roll what you want to roll, or do what you want to do. Jesus Christ. Gothics rolled a 20 for initiative? Holy crap. So who wants to go first? Gothics or Monarch? I believe Gothics is 20 plus 5. Monarch is 20 plus 3. So it would be Gothics first. There you go. With initiative bonus, Gothics is first. Jesus Christ. So never mind, Monarch. You are second. Gothics is first. Gothics, Monarch, Enemy, Pro Gamer Guns, Max, Blue, and Skull. Oh, Blue. Skull's at the end again, too. All right, so go ahead, Gothics. That 20, that 17 hits. So Gothics, what are you doing? Describe to me what you're doing and how you're attacking. You currently see one hobgoblin, very injured in front of you in the doorway. For the night, right? All right, Gothics, it's your attack. You rolled a 17, so you got your hit. What are you hitting with? Alright, it looks like Gothics might be having trouble with the internet. Monarch, go ahead. We'll hold it down. Wait for Gothics. Go ahead, Monarch. You go ahead and go first until Gothics gets his internet up. Looks like he's having issues, so... There we go. Okay, Gothics. So go ahead and roll your daggers. You have 2 of them. You have a 2d8 plus actually no, it's not. So go ahead, do your damage and everything. You have your paper. You don't need me to tell you to do damage. If you have the hit and you know you got the hit, you don't need to wait for me to tell you to do damage. You've got your target, you hit it. Go ahead and do your damage and we can get it going. Okay, so... Okay. Gothics, go ahead and roll your damage. Roll your damage. Roll the dagger damage. And then we will get to Monarch. Alright. There it is. He has a bad internet, huh? Okay, so there you go. So 4. It's actually only 1. I realize this. So 4 plus. Or no, it is 2. Okay, it is 2. So Gothics. 4 Gothics having internet issues. 2d4 plus 5. Okay, so 4. So 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, cool. So Gothics, you see the other hobgoblin, you kind of see it kind of wheeling over, and you grab your 2 daggers and you throw them twice as you pull them out of your side, and the goblin sees the 2 daggers coming. All of a sudden, just both of them go into his eyes, and he kind of just, as his jaw kind of goes slack, and he kind of falls to the ground, and he is Denskis. He is finished. He has a pool on the ground. Okay. Reveal. No. Raw. Freehand. Oh, I want red. Red is for blood. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, who's next? Monarch, you are next, my friend. Very good. 12 damage is very good. All right, Monarch, you're next, buddy. Currently, you guys, we're standing in this, small storage room. We don't really hear any footprints or anything coming up behind us. It seems like we've actually lucked out and have kind of an isolated fight going on. I use magical leaf on the one closest to the door. Sounds good. All right, go ahead and roll 20 for attack. Oh my god, damn it. So Gothics, Monarch starts to, see the fight start to go, and he starts to rally up the energy, and he forms these magical leaves that appear in out of thin air, and they kind of just start very razor sharp, and he starts to do his razor sharp leaves. These streaks of green kind of fly through the doorway towards the other hobgoblin. He gets his sword and kind of ting ting blocks one of them, and the other one flies right past him, and another one flies past him into the wall behind him as he deflects the green leaf. The enemy is up now. All right, so the first hobgoblin moves up. 17, very good. Two. Okay, so the first hobgoblin moves up, and he sees Max in his sights, and he goes for Max first. He moves in for an attack, and he strikes at Max, and he has his long sword, and he has this huge long sword, and he kind of just strikes towards Max, and Max just kind of slashes, hits Max in the chest. Max is not wearing any armor. He gets hit easily. I take 7 damage on the first strike, and then he kind of does his turn on the sword and strikes again. Strikes from an underneath using the momentum, and I take 14 damage. Christ. I kind of yell out in pain as I take 8 damage. The other hobgoblin moves up. You know what? He sees Max in front of him, and he's gonna attack Max. He rolls. I rolled twice. Oh, I did roll twice for them. Fucking, let's see here. The enemy rolled 17. Enemy rolled a 2. Oh boy. So the first one comes in. He kind of strikes in. Max kind of takes the pain, but he sees the other hobgoblin running towards him, and he fucking throws up his sword, and the hobgoblin strikes down, and ding, he stops the sword just short of Max. As I'm kind of kneeling a little bit, taking the pain, and I just put my sword down in the ground for me, and I stop his sword from striking me. It is now Pro Gamer Gun's turns. I'm lucky he missed the second. The second enemy missed. Enemy rolled a 17. Enemy rolled a 2. I use my to cut. Magna, go ahead, roll attack. Roll a 13, so 13 plus, using your Naginata, 13 plus 6, 7, 8, 9, just hits. You are lucky, just hits. So she rolls an 8, she gets a 3, so plus 6, right? Yes, because you're doing one hand, or you're doing the Naginata. So it is a 1d8 plus 4. It's a plus 4, not a plus 6, because it's a two-handed weapon. The Naginata is two-handed, so it's a 1. So it is a 3 plus 4, so 4, so 7. So 7. Sorry, Pro Gamer Guns. Your Naginata is a two-handed monk weapon. Your Talon is a one-handed sword, and your Talon does normally 1d8 plus 4, but it does plus 2. On top of that, because it you have dueling. So your Talon does 1d8 plus 6. Your Naginata does 1d8 plus 4. All right. So I'm sorry about that. So you rolled a 3. So plus 4, that's 7. So you get your Naginata, and you have some reach, and you see that we're in a really tight, cramped area, so you don't swing your Naginata around, but you pierce forward like you saw Max do earlier. So you use your two-handed weapon, you poke forward towards the hobgoblin's throat that's near Max. Dealing what's it called? Dealing 7 damage. So the hobgoblin is kind of focused on Max, as he kind of has the sword kind of chinged. All of a sudden, he just kind of notices this Naginata just kind of come into his throat and kind of slice. Doesn't get his jugular, but it definitely does some damage, and you kind of hear the struggle of pain in his voice as he and looks back to you, and you kind of pull your sword back. The camera kind of faces towards the weapon as it looks down towards your hand and your face as you're holding it, and the blood drips from the Naginata as he takes 7 damage. Cool. All right, who's next? Oh, Max is up next. So Max seeing this go down, I do my I don't actually know it. No, I don't. I'm gonna save it. So I do. You know what? Why not? Let's not make everybody here. Let's show you an example of my new powers. So I do my second wind as a bonus action. I believe. Second wind, where are you? Oh, Gamer Guns has it. I'm at second wind. 1d10 plus your fighter level. Okay, so I roll. You start to see Max stand up as he deflected the sword, and he pulls in his strength. You kind of see these white essence balls kind of illuminate around him as this green aura fills up, and you hear this as I do I do second wind and give myself 1d10 plus my fighter level, so +2. So roll 1d10. All right. So 10 plus 2, that's 12 health. So I go back to 20 health. Heck yeah. I get to do that once per a long rest. I'm not so squishy anymore. Back to 20. And now what I need to remember is that this is a bonus action, so I get to still do my turn. I only get to do one strike though. Okay, give me back my 20. 20. All right. I proceed to kind of smile as I kind of the gash on my chest starts to heal up, and the goblin kind of looks in concern as I look up and I smile. This is what the other hobgoblin looks like. So you guys kind of see an idea of what these hobgoblins look like. I want you guys to see this and kind of get a good idea of the creatures we're fighting. You kind of see in detail. Some are red, some are gray. They're just a taller goblin, right? Kind of get an idea of the creature we're fighting. Very militaristic, organized fighters. This is kind of what we're fighting, okay? See that? Okay. As I do that, I roll for my attack after healing. Put your armor on, my lord. You'll heal you on my turn. Okay. I'm so sorry I missed that, Blue. I am so sorry. That was a good point though. Oh, and a 5. Very good. So I look to strike, and I'm like, as Blue is saying that, put your armor on, I'm like, what? And I kind of just strike, and the hobgoblin kind of just dodges as I strike a little too high. It's alright, we're about to end this anyway. Like, we might, after this fight, we'll have to call it because it's getting late. Blue, you're up. Alright, 11 plus your 5, 16. God damn it, miss. Damn it. You only have a 5 with your 5 strength. Because your strength, you don't have a lot of strength. You have it all in charisma and wisdom. God damn it. I'm sorry, Blue. Yeah, your poleaxe does a +5. You have a spell though. You have your hurricane push. You have your smite. You have your divine sense. You have your pool of life. You have your divine smite. So if you do hit, you add another 1d8 or 2d8. Or yeah, use a spell slot to add 2d8. Yeah. You have your hurricane push. So it's a hit. You do 2d6 thunder damage, and they have to roll 14, so it's a guaranteed hit. You have a lot of things that are not just hit for chance. So just so you know, you don't always have to roll on just pure physical attacks. Oh, you cast Breath of Life. Oh, I did heal myself for 20. I don't know if you noticed, and why it's not staying. I said 20. I did heal myself for 20 using my second wind ability that I have long range. You don't have to heal me more. I'm sorry, I kind of missed that when I was deciding to do it. It covers the chat box when when I'm clicking about, but it heals myself. So I thank you, Blue. I thank you. I'm sorry. I just kind of wanted to test it out, but it's a 1d10 plus 2. I rolled a 10 plus 2 health, so that gave me up to 20 health. But you can re-roll for attack. I didn't know you were doing a healing spell. Go ahead and roll for attack, and or do whatever the hell you want to do for attack. You have a couple of other, if you check your sheet out, you have a couple of things you do, but Go ahead and roll or whatever the heck you want to attack. Sorry about the healing spell. And you don't need to roll for a healing. You have your pool of life, and you add. You have equals the amount paladin level times 5, so it's 10. You have 10 points to give to people in health. You don't have to roll for it. You just say that you want to give me 10 points of health. You can give me 2 points of health if you want. I believe it's an action though, so that's your turn. Oh, okay then, never mind. I'll take the miss of my attack. Well, did you want to do just a basic attack? Like, you got to realize that it's not as simple anymore as just, oh, I want to strike and see if I hit or miss. You know, you have things that are guaranteed hits. You know, you don't want to be that person's just swinging wildly that, you know, isn't is just running the risk of not hitting. Like, if you can hit and you have the ability and you know you can guaranteed hit sometimes, you don't have to use it now, but I'm just letting you know in the future that you do have things that'll, you know, like really fuck some shit up if you also if you know, if you just see what you have like that. You have your divine smite. But okay, so you're gonna roll for the miss. You say you want to miss the attack. That's fine. Then go ahead, Skull, you are next. I just didn't you know, I can do that as a DM. I didn't know you were rolling for attack. If you were rolling for attack, it's fine. You can roll again for attack, but it's no biggie. If you want to move on to the next person, it's fine. You're okay. I've literally watched other DMs just completely get away with worse than that, than just having you reroll. Like, they literally said no, and then they're like, okay, I give you advantage. Like, you don't really have to worry about, like, I do want to follow the rules to a point, but I'm not going to be this warmongering ruler thing that it's like, there are things you're allowed to bend. You are literally allowed to bend whatever you want. It's DM. It's as the DM. It's what do I find acceptable and non-game breaking. It's not about me against you and not letting you do stuff. This is about you guys having fun and playing, and you know. And if the dice roll kind of screws you once or twice, you have an inspiration dice, Blue. Go ahead and roll for it. You know, again, I think Monarch has it right now. Monarch has a reroll. Monarch, you still have your inspiration dice from last night. Go first, roll an 11. Plus what are you attacking with? Oh, okay. There, never mind. I charged the newest here goblin with my dagger with the green flame and put it into his chest and cut out his heart. Okay, so you roll 20, you add your 7 for your dagger. So 7, yes. So then it's a 16, so 7 plus 7 is 14. Do I add my 7? Yeah, so you roll 11, so that's 18. Yes, very good, very good. So 7, 18. That's a good hit. Just barely hits. Just barely hits. Okay. Damage. Four. Oh, very good. You rolled a 4. All right, 9. 4. I'll probably stop double checking this shit here soon. So 4 is 5 is 9, and you didn't curse. So very good. Okay, so okay, so you get the flame damage, and you start to, Skullface starts to, he grabs his dagger out of his pocket, and you see the green flame go around his dagger as runs towards the hobgoblin. Max kind of slips a little bit out of the way here. Skullface runs, he dags, he stabs, doing 4 damage to the goblin as the fire goes from the other goblin, comes out of the goblin's neck, the damage, and the fire goes to the other goblin within 5 feet of him. As the fire consumes the goblin, it goes kind of radiates around him, doing 5 damage. The goblin, as with that Skullface stabbed in the neck, kind of just you all of a sudden you feel his body go limp, Skullface, as he gurgles and falls to the ground, dead as a lump. Gothix, you're up. Another goblin falls on top of another body. As the other goblin falls, he kind of just comically lands on top of the other goblin. My phone's about to die. I'm so sorry about everyone. I gotta go. Okay. Alright, next is... you have a good night, Gothix. Get some sleep, man. I'm sorry your internet's fucking shitting up. You know, crap. Moving so slowly for you. I'm sorry. You have a good night, man. Get some sleep. I hope you have a good night. And you don't work tomorrow in the daytime. So, yay. Till later at night. Enjoy your rest, man. Get some sleep. So Monarch, you are next. That's what you get. Use Magical Leaf, 1 more. Alright, Monarch. So, Monarch, you kind of need to move in a little more. See here. So, I will have you move out of the way of everybody. I'll have you move and fly over these bodies a little bit as you stand in the doorway. Not too much anybody's ways, but so you can get a clear shot. And... go ahead and roll 20. Roll the 12 plus 5, 15, 17. A miss. This is what dexterity comes into play more. She's hideous laughter, healing words, I see. Probably want to save it. Alright, the enemy is up next. Okay. So, Monarch is going to instinctively move back a little bit of feet because he does have movement left in his movement, and Skullface, or the bad guy, is going to run towards the first person he sees, which is Skullface in the door. He runs towards Skullface, he misses. Pro Gamer Guns are up. So as the Hobgoblin kind of charges towards Skullface, he kind of swings wide, and Skullface grabs his dagger as he was cleaning it off, and he sees the Hobgoblin coming. He kind of with one hand and just kind of supernatural strength stops the blade in place and says, "Not today." Pro Gamer Guns, you are up. I use my talent attack. Very good. Slicing his balls off. Very good. Roll attack. Roll 20. Alright. 10 plus Pro Gamer Guns. 17. Miss. God, these guys. I'm sorry. Max is up next. Jesus. 10 plus 6, so that's 16, right? Or 10 plus 7 is 17. Just barely. Okay, so so Pro Gamer Guns, she moves towards with her stars. And she's what?
Battle Royale now with magic.
Oh, really?
Distance launch, effect, fire,
so
tornado,
Pro Gamer
ice.
Guns grabs her talon and she unsees her sword and she kind of looks at her newfound weapon and smiles and she runs towards the goblin and she kind of super fast speed and she slides past the goblin. The goblin grabs his sword and he kind of holds it low to the ground as she slices towards the side, but you hear the kind of as Pro Gamer Gun slides to the side and gets behind the hobgoblin. Max is next. Okay, I see this and I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys, it's my bad juju all over, you guys, it's my fault. I go running towards the hobgoblin. All those damn misses. It's my turn to redeem us. And I run towards no, not 20. Roll 6. Oh yeah, I got 6 plus 4 is 10. Yay. Okay, so I see the hobgoblin and I'm like, I got you, boys and girls, and I run towards goblin and I kind of just do this strike as he's holding his neck. You kind of see this as I kind of slide and I kind of just end my stance away, facing away from the goblin as my sword kind of is around my left shoulder and or my right shoulder, and the goblin kind of stands there silent and you just kind of see him fall and flop to the ground. Good job, everybody. It seems that nothing has everybody go ahead and roll for stealth, right? Oh no, that's Pro Gamer Guns. All right, everybody roll for strength real quick and then we'll end this, and go ahead and roll for perception for loot. Everybody roll for perception and then roll a 10. That's some good numbers. No, Carol, she's kind of settled down. She didn't want to. Roll 15. Alright, Monarch. So far, good. Okay, 15. I want to see who rolls the highest. Oh wow, scolded a 17, huh? Bro, what'd you get? A 20. No shit. Okay. Okay, so I will also roll. Okay, so 3 and then 2. And Pro Gamer Guns, what's the 10 number that you rolled? Go ahead and roll a 10 as well. Blue rolled a 6. And then roll a 10 as well, Blue. Alright, Blue rolled a 9. Okay, guys. So, Pro Gamer Guns. You start to search around through the beds, and you're looking around and you're scruffling about and you're trying to find a little bit of anything that resembles anything of monetary value. Monarch, you start to enter as well, followed by Blue, kind of searching the body, seeing what he can find. Monarch, you find on the wall you see about 5 spears and 4 long swords, along with 3 morning stars. Monarch, you find a quarterstaff engraved with stylish feathers. It is surprisingly light. It's about 1 pound. Skullface, you proceed to find sorry. Skullface rolled a 2. Find 13 gold, Skullface. Blue, you find 13 gold as well. And Pro Gamer Guns, you find 17 gold. Skullface, I already took Skullface. I find 13 gold. Blue 13. Bro is 17. Cool. Monarch, you find 13 as well. And Pro Soul found 13 as well. Max found 13 as well. Yeah, I know. You rolled a 6. I have you right down for a 6. 17. No, 13. Sorry. Okay, so 17. 17 gold. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, for that guy you disarmed. Yeah, absolutely. So he it's just a regular longsword. It's just a regular longsword. I believe you can write it down. It does. Pull it out. It does 1d8 damage. The longsword that does 1d8. A quarterstaff, yeah. So a quarterstaff is like a smaller. It's like basically a staff. It's like a smaller staff you can use to hit with if you like. I can look up the damage. I believe it's only a 1d4 though. But it's a feathered quarterstaff. It might be able to do something with it. I mean, it could beats me. You could find something out you want to do with it, but it's an item and you can try and sell it and see how much it's worth in the store. Need sleep. Yep, I'm hitting to bed too. If you guys have any other questions, I'm sorry you missed twice today, Blue, and so did Monarch. Monarch missed today too. It's just one of those days. You get those days when you miss and shit. And that's the thing is, if you ever do want to mess around with your character, like, you know, I don't have you crazily invested in strength and dexterity. I have you more invested in wisdom and charisma because of your class, and it makes sense for your spell casting and just what you do in the long run. But like Monarch too, Monarch has a plus 5 when he attacks because his dexterity plus his proficiency. As you get more leveled up, that proficiency number will change and you'll be hitting targets more often. But right now you have a plus 5 to your poleaxe. That means when you roll a 20, you're adding 5. And those hobgoblins, they have some higher armor. They don't go down as easily. But Alright, guys. Well, you guys have a good night. And I'm sorry I didn't catch you. You're gonna do the healing spell, or the healing. So I was gonna tell you, you can do Breath of Life, but you also, I think that's a spell, right? Yeah, Breath of Life is a spell. You can use your pool of healing, your pool of life, You can use that without having to take a spell slot. You have 10 points to give to people. So if you want to give me 10 points or give me 5 and give someone else 2, or use 1 point to cure disease or another point to cure disease and then add 5 points to me, that you kind of have another little bit of wiggle room, and it's a guaranteed whatever points you want to add versus your Breath of Life, which could roll a 1 and do 1d and plus 6, 1d8 plus 6. So you do like 7. 29. Yeah, I did. All right, Monarch. You have a good night, Pro Gamer Guns. Thanks again for the sub. You know, I appreciate it. You know, more or less. Hopefully, when we return, we will be in the cave. You write these down, Pro Gamer Guns. I need you to write these down. You just found a bunch of crap, so write this down real quick. This is the treasure you found. So you found 5 spears, 4 long swords, 3 morning stars, and 2 great swords. And that quarterstaff is a fine quarterstaff, Mon. And we all got 400 XP. Divided evenly between however many people. And very good that we did not... How do they quick defense counters appear? Yeah, we're good. We wiped him out without having too much trouble. It's really good timing that everybody kind of popped in. Good fight, everybody. We have just skimmed the surface of this place too. We really haven't seen everything yet. Like, there's still a lot to what we've discovered so far. You got it, Pro Gamer Guns. I figured you would need to repeat it. Okay, so you have 5 spears. So 5 spears. You found these all on the wall, okay? You found 4 long swords. 4 long swords. We're gonna start doing weight soon. Like, I'm not worried about it right now, but we will start doing weight soon. These things these aren't pushing you over. If I ever know that it pushes you over the limit, then I'll know, but like, there is a weight limit in the game, kind of. It's 240 on average. 240 pounds. So, and then 5 spears, 4 long swords, 3 morning stars, and 2 great swords. 5, 4, 3, 2. Huh! Never noticed that. And then I would recommend whatever the hell you want to do with them. You can melt them down into a chair. You can try and sell them. You can try and make, you know, melt down the metal, do something. I don't know. Whatever the fuck. Just let me know what you want to try and do, and then it's not that you can't do it, it's that you might have to go here to go do it, or have this person pay them to do that, or whatever. So just for one more time, 5 spears, 4 long swords, 3 morning stars, 2 great swords, and a fine quarterstaff, which is Gothics. Monarchs. Okay. And with that, I bid you good night, good rest. Thank you for playing. And good night and good morrow. 2 great swords. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, you have a monarch. Write it down. You have found a fine quarterstaff. A fine quarterstaff engraved with stylized feathers. So I would just say it has a fine quarterstaff with stylized feathers. So it's like a white quarterstaff with like a bunch of feathers on it. It kind of like, if I were to do DM, is that it looks kind of like the same quarterstaff, kind of like with the white one of Gandalf, so it has that wood kind of spin on it. Nothing as strong as Gandalf's, but it is it's got a white twist in the wood, and it comes with a bunch of feathers kind of tied to its sides. But the wood is a very fine white wood, and it's very light, about 1 pound. The one you disarmed is just another longsword, so just add one more longsword. It is a basic used longsword from a hobgoblin. Nothing special. Oh, you have 3 longswords now. Alright guys, my butt is numb. You guys have a good night. Get some sleep. Make sure you wrote down the gold you got, Blue.